Hi my loves, welcome to a new weekend reading vlog. This vlog is already turning out to be pretty I just said goodbye to my daughter. Obviously she's not feeling very well, but her dad still wants to see her, and literally we spent the last hour, that's a lie, I spent the last hour trying to get her to go. I managed to get her to go by basically 6 teddy bears later, and I got her in the car, and then she just burst into tears even more the minute I left the car. And my last parting words from her was, "No mummy, don't go," and her bawling her eyes out with her arm out of the window trying to get me. And I feel like the worst mum ever. I've just cried on another vlog I just finished, and I feel like shit, and I'm gonna feel like shit until I hear from her. And even when I do feel like that, I'm gonna still feel like shit, because I think every mother or parent out there, their heart breaks when they see their child bawling their eyes out or unwell and stuff like that. Alice isn't feeling well. She's very clingy when she's not feeling well, but I can't do anything. I can't refuse her to see her father. We have a court order. Her father wants to see her. He could have been a decent man and turned around and said, look, forget it, she's not well, just, it's clear she's in a state and that, but that doesn't happen when it comes to him. So we're going to do a reading vlog. I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what I want to read. I have 2 books that I still need to finish, but I am not in the mood to really read them now, so I'm kind of just gonna go and mood read. So I have a stack of books that are potentials. I do technically want to read them all. I'm in the mood for them, so we'll see. I know I'm gonna have to read my little heart out, because I need to get out of my head, because if I continue replaying those last moments, I'm going to be in a complete mess. So yeah, so I'm just going to go through the books that I have, but I will go through the books that I think I definitely will read. So first up is Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, which is a sci-fi. I know, it's a sci-fi, you're like, whoa Amy, you don't like it. But I honestly, just looking at this, it just seems like it's going to be quite a fun sci-fi to read. It's mixed media. It doesn't look overly hard, and I know it's got like an action-packed pace to it. I know there's romance in it. I feel like it's more of a space opera rather than full-on sci-fi, like spaceships and all these space gadgets and aliens and all of this malarkey that I struggle with. So I think this might be a good sci-fi. So we might be reading this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite in the mood to read it, and I think the fact that I'm in the mood to read it probably should be a good time for me to pick it up. So this is an option. Another option, which is probably a yes, is A Strange Hymn by Laura Talassa, which is the book 2 to the Bargainer series. I love the first book, and this is carrying on from it, and it didn't take me long to read the first book, so honestly this is probably a good contender, because I know I'm going to enjoy it. The world building and everything's already done, so it's going to be an easy read, and it is like you had like a, I don't know whether it was enemies to lovers or whether it was friends to lovers romance, but we had that at the beginning, and now they're together, so I think it's going to be 10 times steamier than what it was in the first book. So this is definitely probably a yes, because I know I will probably breeze through it very quickly. This is actually my book club pick, so it's Daughter of Smoke and Bone by, it must be Laini Taylor, I think that's how you say it. One of my book club members, Kaz, has started this. I'm not 100% sure whether she's finished it. I think she has, but she absolutely loves it. She couldn't put it down, and it's to do with angels as well, and there's like a forbidden romance. I think I'm going to really enjoy this, so I need to read it for my book club, so this might be a good opportunity to pick it up. And then I also got another fantasy. We got a lot of fantasies here. Girl Serpent Form by Melissa Bashar-Doust. I'm buddy reading this with Kaz again. She's already started this. We were meant to do 10 chapters and then discuss, but she started it. I was really behind. I said I would catch up. More than likely I'll just read it in like one go, and then we can discuss it properly. But I can't really remember what this is about. I think it's like she's a monster or something. I'm not sure, but Kaz has started reading it, and she said to me that was really good, and that it's really easy to read, and she said if she's enjoying it, she knows full well I'd probably love it, so that's a good option. And then I've got some quick easy books. So I've got The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie McCasey, which is just this cute little book. I'm not 100% sure what it's overly about, but it's just like a really very simple book, which is technically one of the books, well, two of these books are actually for the Royal Readathon prompts, but I'm going to be totally honest here, I'm not 100% sure whether I'm even going to complete either readathons. Olympics-a-thon is nearly up, the 20th is the last day, and I have three books that I need to read, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not in the mood to read, so I'm like, do I push myself? And I thought probably not, because knowing me, if I'm not in the mood, it's pointless. Plus, on the 15th, House of Breath and Sky is out, which is Crescent City Book 2, and I know full well the minute I get that book in my hands, I'm going to want to read it. So I'm like, I don't really want to have any books to read for next week, because I just want to focus on that book. So I honestly think if I definitely don't think I'm going to complete Olympics-a-thon. I may complete the Royal Readathon, we'll see, because that's a whole month, and I have a week all to myself. Alice is at Dad's for half term. Hopefully that will be 10 times better for her. But yeah, if I would like to at least complete one readathon, but right now that I am exhausted, I'm now in a really low mood. I'm just like, do you know what? I'm just going to do me. I'm going to read my own books, whatever. Another book that is probably going to happen is Lore Olympus Volume 1 by Rachel Smythe. This is a graphic novel to do with Hades and Persephone retelling. I have had a little read of this already, and I was loving it. So I think I'm just going to sit and read this. It's going to be really easy, and at least in this vlog I can say I at least read one book maybe. So yeah, these are the options. We'll see which books they are. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this vlog, and I'll catch up with you with some reading updates.
Your honey water wine, you make me warm inside. Your morning sunshine when the dreams aren't feeling fine. Your eucalyptus leaf, you make my muscles weak. Your sweet moonshine, and now I finally feel alive. Will you dance with me? Let's forget all about the night. You can follow my
Hello, I'm in a better mood. I got a text message from Alice's dad to say that she's settled, she's a lot better, and I literally just spoke her a couple of minutes ago, and she's a lot happier. She still misses me and everything, but she's not crying or anything like that, so I feel a lot better than I did. Obviously, I'm gonna miss her all weekend. I really don't do well when she's not home anyway, especially when she's poorly, because I do worry a bit more. But she's not crying or anything like that, so that is a relief, because I just don't like seeing her upset. But I managed to read 2 books. Yeah, 2 books. Admittedly, you know, they aren't exactly big books, but I don't care. I read 2 books. So I had a kebab, which I haven't had a kebab in... Honestly, I think the last time I ever had a kebab was probably like when I was like 18, 20s, that kind of era, when I've had nights out. That's like, I tend to get a kebab when I'm on my way home. So it's been a long time since I had a kebab. I didn't even know my town actually had a place that they did kebabs, but it was gorgeous. Like, I honestly couldn't eat it all. It was massive. Like, I could probably share the whole of my stuff between my parents and me. But it was amazing. It was beautiful. It brought me back like nights out when I am absolutely hanging, and that's just like a full-on pick-me-up. It was just, oh, it was adorable. So I ate that, and then after I ate that, I picked up Lore Olympus Volume 1 by Rachel Smythe, and I loved it. I really loved it. Like, the illustrations in this is just beautiful. It honestly is gorgeous. I have Volume 2 pre-ordered, and I honestly can't wait for it to come. I just it was just an easy, fun read. I love Hades and Persephone. I love, they are my favourite god and goddesses. So, you know, anything about those two, I love. There's nothing really else to say. This was an easy 5-star. The pictures, the illustrations, and like that was gorgeous. And like it's just the opening scene of like Persephone and Hades liking each other, but like mixed signals and all that. It was just amazing. It was the perfect pick me up for me as well. So yeah, 5 stars. Loved it. And then I picked up The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie. I think it's Mackesy. I'm not 100% sure if I'm saying that right. Guys, this is emotional in a like heartwarming, lovely way. But it's so emotional. Like, this is a library copy, and no joke, I've already ordered my own copy because this is a book that I think you need to put in your bedside table. And whenever you're having a bad day, or you just need a pick me up, or you just need like a self-care moment, this is just perfect. Like, for example, the first like page of like the story, it says, "I'm so small," said the mole. "Yes," said the boy, "but you make a huge difference." Like, come on. And then here, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" "Kind," said the boy. "What do you think success is?" asked the boy. "To love," said the mole. Like, honestly, I could read the whole book out to you, because every single quote on here is like beautiful. Like here, "What do you think is the biggest waste of time? Comparing yourself to others." Like, honestly, this is just little pick-me-ups that I need. Oh, it's just wonderful. I'm trying to find like the one that really got me. It's just like the illustrations was beautiful. Honestly, Liz, isn't it odd? We can only see our outsides, but nearly everything happens on the inside. Like, honestly, the quotes in this book are amazing. I had a couple of moments where I was like, oh, not in a like it made me sad, but it made me emotional in a sense of, I need this, like right now, this is something I need, because I was having a bit of a low moment. So yeah, I've ordered my own copy because this is a book that I am going to have on my bedside table, and I'm just going to constantly pick up, and when I need to, this is going to be a good pick-me-up, a good reminder of everything I need to be reminded of. It was just wonderful, and I can't believe it has taken me this long to actually read the book. It's just, like honestly, if this man does any more, I think it's a man, I'm sure it's a man, but if this man does any more of these books, please do, because honestly, they are beautiful. So we're already on a smashing start in this vlog. 2 books, 2 5 stars, and now I'm trying to decide what next. So this is my little stack. What do I read next? I am kind of going with Illuminae. I think I'm going to try it. If I don't like it, then I won't not DNF it sort of thing if I really don't like it. But yeah, I think I'm going to go for this. I'm in the mood for it. So let's see. So this is going to be my next read. And yeah, honestly, the books have cheered me up. They were just what I needed right at that moment, especially The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse. And I really want my own copy to come right now, just so I can highlight everything and note it, and just it was stunning. Anyway, we're on to read Illuminae, so I will catch up with you probably a little bit later on this evening to tell you my initial thoughts, or if I'm loving it so much I might just read it all in one go and then tell you. We'll see. At the moment I'm on a roll, so but yeah, we're in a better mood. I'm feeling better. This is what the power of books do. When you're feeling crud, they make you feel better. But yeah, I'll catch up with you all a little bit later with my thoughts, or whether I finished it, or whether I hated it, or we'll see. I'll catch up with you later anyway. Hello, good afternoon. So, I've been up since 10. I went to bed at 12. I was going to stay up until I wanted to go to sleep, but that didn't work because I got really sleepy very quickly. So yeah, that happened. So I woke up at 10, and then I was just like, you know what? I don't want to get up. So I ended up watching the first episode of Love is Blind season 2. Now, this is the most cringe-worthy, like, series I've watched. It's so naff, but it's so good because it's so naff, and I just love watching it. It's absolutely bizarre, and I love the fact that there are some who end up being together, happy in love and everything like that. Like in the first season, we had 2 that were married and stay married. So it works, but it's just so cringeworthy, and I'm like, does it though? So I watched that, and then I just got ready. I haven't read any more of Illuminate. Now, I am enjoying it, no doubt about it. However, I just feel like I need to make time for it and sit down and properly concentrate on it rather than trying to binge read it for this vlog, basically. So I decided to not read it purely because I'd rather do it when in my own time where I'm not vlogging or anything like that, because I have a habit of when I'm vlogging, I want to read these books really quickly to try and bash out as many books as I can in vlogs. And as much as Illuminate is really fast-paced, and it is, there are parts where I do have to concentrate purely because it's not something I'm used to. I'm not used to sci-fi. I'm not used to that kind of world. So it takes me longer. And I was oohing and ahhing about getting the audiobook for it. But I remember when I tried to do it, I couldn't stand the narrator. It's just, no, his voice annoyed me. And I was like, I know I'm not going to enjoy the book purely because of that. So I had decided to not read Illuminate anymore in this vlog, but pick up to one of these books. So one of the options is A Strange Hymn by Laura Talassa. So this is the second book in the Bargainer series. Now, I absolutely flew through the first book. I think I'm going to fly through this book. However, I'm like, shall I read it? Because knowing me, I'll probably finish this and I want to pick up the third book, which is an option. So this is possibly my go-to because I know it's going to be a quick read. The world building's already done for me and all that. But I am very curious in my book club pick, which is Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. A lot of them have said I probably will love it because it's got angels in. We've got like a bit of a romance and all that. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start reading this, see what I'm like with the first couple of chapters. If I'm thinking, do you know what, I'm vibing with this is really good, I will continue reading it. If I feel like, no, it's something I need to concentrate because it's world building, it's the first book in a series, then I will probably pick up A Strange Hymn. Knowing me, I'll probably be able to read this in a day, and then I'll pick up the third book. So that's the plan. But before I do any reading, I need some food because it's lunchtime and I'm starving. But also I need to edit my first vlog in the Fairy Loot series because I'm running out of memory. So I want to just quickly edit it out and get rid of it, so then I can push over my last vlog onto my tablet, so then I can continue filming this because I haven't got any memory left. So that's the plan. So these 2 books are options, and I would decide which one. You never know, I might love them both and I might end up reading these so fast and then read another book. We'll see. But that's the plan. I just want something where it's easy and I can just read. Like I do find sometimes with books, especially like Illuminate, as much as I'm enjoying it, I need to concentrate it more, and I don't tend to do that when I'm doing vlogs because I feel like in vlogs I have to make it a reading vlog and I have to make it look like I've read a book. Like I know I've read 2, but they're like, graphic novels, or one's like I don't know what the other one would be classed as. So that's the plan. I'm going to go and grab some food because my stomach is rumbling. I'm going to edit my video and then I will start Daughter of Smoke and Bone, read a couple of chapters, see whether I'm vibing with it and think, nope, actually I think I'm going to breeze through it. If not, then I will pick up A Strange Hymn and go from there. But I'll let you know what the plan is later on. So I'm currently uploading the video I just edited, but I got some book mail. I know what's in that one. I've got Fairy Loot, but I'm going to open Fairy Loot in a separate video. But this is what I ordered yesterday because, I said I really loved The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. I bought it. Well, I bought a couple of books actually. So I think, oh yeah, this is these 2. I think the other lot of 2 books are coming tomorrow. So I bought my own copy of The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse because honestly, I needed my own copy. This was just beautiful. It's going to be on my bedside cabinet, so I can just pick it up and read when I need to, when I'm feeling a bit low and I just need to pick me up. But I also saw this. It's Big Panda and Tiny Dragon by James Norbury, which I have seen a lot of people talk about this book, but it's also got the same pretext to what The Boy, the Mole and the Fox and the Horse is. So it's like spring, summer, autumn, winter, and then spring again. And it's just got like these gorgeous coats with beautiful drawings. So this first one here says, "Be brave, you never know what a first meeting might lead to." And I've seen a lot of people say this is like as special as The Boy and Ron, a Fox and a Horse, so I ended up getting those two just to have on my bedside table and just give me a pick-me-up. So I got them, and then I also bought 2 other books, and I can't now remember what the hell they were, but they're coming tomorrow, so you'll see that book mail tomorrow sometime. I haven't started any reading yet. I did have a quick little look through Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and literally the first bit of the book, before you get into the first chapter, it says there once there was a angel and devil who fell in love, and then it was like it did not last or something, and I was like, okay, this has already intrigued me, so I think we're going to go for that, read a couple of pages, see whether I do feel it's quite fast paced, but just that little opening line, I was like, this sounds very intriguing. So yeah, I'm gonna quickly film my video for this unboxing because this is January's box, and we're nearly like, we're in the middle of February now, and I've been waiting for this box for ages. The reason why it didn't come when it was supposed to was because they were waiting on one product, and that product they were having awful problems with posting it because their staff who do it, COVID and all that, so they were understaffed and had problems, and then they finally got it, but then they had another problem, so it's been a bit... So they kept us all in contact and everything, so I knew I was getting this soon because I had a email to say it'd been shipped. And then the day before yesterday, I had to say that it was with Hermes, and then yesterday, I then had an email to say that it would be delivered today, and then today I actually had the time, so I knew it was going to come between 10 and half 12, and it came like at 12 o'clock, so... yeah, very excited for this. So I'm going to do my unboxing on a different video, so you'll probably see that before this. And yeah, then I will catch up with you properly when I've done some reading, whichever book I read, and my thoughts on it. So I will catch up with you when. I would give you some reading updates because I'm reading Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, and I'm enjoying it. I'm on page 202, chapter 30, so clearly we're enjoying it. I think I might be halfway through actually. The problem with this book though is I don't actually understand what's going on. There's a lot going on and I'm like, but what I'm getting is we're following our main character, who is Karu, who basically lives 2 lives. Like, she's partly living in the human world and partly like an errand girl to this monster who's basically the closest thing to family she has. And so basically she runs errands by picking up these teeth and things like that for... I've forgotten his name. Hang on. No, don't do that. Where are they? For God's sake. Brimstone. There we are. So, I'm not 100% sure how you pronounce it. So, Brimstone and everyone is like a Chimerea. In other words, I think they're like demons or part of the devil sort of thing. Something like that. Like... It's one of those ones where it doesn't fully explain everything at the minute. Whether it will do as you get more into the book, I don't know. But basically, Karu's been living like a double life. So she's like living in Prague, sort of pretending to be a 70-year-old art student sort of thing. But then she's doing Brimstone's work by picking up these teeth and all of that. And like she's also goes through portals and stuff. But basically, she has certain things that's sort of magical, like little things to make wishes. She's also got these tattoos. They're the Hamas tattoos on her hands, and she's now learnt that they have some power behind it, but she doesn't understand why. But basically, she was doing an errand and all that, and a angel sort of has been following her, and the angel is called Akiva, yeah, Akiva, and basically he's been closing. He basically these angels are burning down all of the portals to the elsewhere, which is leading to, I have no idea, hell, heaven, not 100% sure. But this angel sort of came up close to Karu and sort of is curious about her. He's like, "What are you?" He knows she's not human, but she clearly doesn't know she's not human. So he's been intrigued by her, and he's been watching her and all of that. And they've just had like a massive like he's been following her, but he doesn't want to harm her, but she doesn't know that, so she was trying to like throw in a few fights there. But yeah, basically he's just like, she's asked him why he burnt the portal, like, and what's going on with Brimstone and everyone. So she's just found that Brimstone and all the others are at a place called the Black Fortress, which is apparently a thing with bars. And she asked why he's been doing the closing the portals and burning them, and apparently there's like a war going on, but also she doesn't know what war is. But it's clear by Akiva's point of view, because we sort of have little tiny chapters of him, that he likes her. Like, she sort of reminds him of some other angel, possibly, not 100% sure it's an angel, but someone in his life that he loved. And so it's sort of, and he's like got a calling to her, so whether she's like actually this person but doesn't remember what, I don't know, that's like my little guess. But he likes her and he doesn't want to like her, but he's intrigued. And she's like obviously now sort of chatting to him, because I think she wants to know what he knows and who she is, because it's obviously clear that these eye tattoos in her hand are powerful because she can hurt him. So yeah, it says here at the beginning of the book that I did mention to you before. Hang on. It says, once upon a time an angel and a devil fell in love. It did not end well. So I'm kind of wondering whether she might be like a devil, or not the devil, or maybe has like demony things. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. Like I'm halfway through, and I only read it a couple of hours. Like I started reading it just before tea. It's very easy, quick paced. I really like the characters. I'm very intrigued by the world. I love a book about angels and devils. What there are. They are my like Achilles heel, but I can't say that I really understand what's going on. Whether I'm just having a moment and it's not registering in my brain or what, I'm not too sure. I kind of don't know what's going on. Like, there's no really background on Karu, which makes sense because she doesn't know anything about her. She doesn't know who her family are or anything like that. All she knows is Brimstone was there, he found her, she's been doing errands for him ever since, and he's been looking after her. And she's also found out he's left her like estates and tons of money where she can live on and she'll never have any problems. Like, she's got land and all of that, so like he sort of has become her caregiver. But we don't know anything about her, which makes sense purely because she doesn't know who she is. So putting that in a book when she doesn't know, it doesn't make sense. But I'm just at that point now, I'm thinking, I'm confused. Like, what's going on? Like, I like it, but I'm confused. Like, at the moment, it's not 5-star vibes just because I am a bit lost. I'm a bit like, oh, I don't know. But I am enjoying it. I'm very intrigued to see how it goes. I know this has got some romance in, so I'm guessing Karu and Akiva do fall in love, maybe. But obviously I know this is part of a series, and I have got book 2 and book 3, so I kind of feel like after this book, the next 2 books will probably pick up and be a bit more making sense. But regardless, I am enjoying it. I think I might have to actually Google what a chimeria is. I will edit it at the bottom what it actually, like, the word is, because I'm sure I'm not even pronouncing it right either. But yeah, I'm reading this, like, honestly, like, I am halfway, so it's not going to take me long. I honestly think I'm going to finish this tonight, and then I will probably pick up A Strange Hymn. I do want to pick up Big Panda and Tiny Dragon, so I think I'll finish that, read that, and then start A Strange Hymn. but I have a feeling if I keep doing this and do well, I will probably be able to read 5 books in this weekend, which would be bloody amazing. But yeah, I'm going to continue on reading. I'm going to go and get something to eat, even though I just had a whole bag full of munchies. I'm still hungry, so let's go and get some snacks and carry on reading. I'm on page 267, page 30, chapter 37, sorry. I don't know what's going on, but it's getting good and I'm so confused, but it's still really good. So, it's very clear that Karu and Akiva, I'm not sure if I said his name right when I've been talking, but it's Akiva, but Karu and Akiva are drawn to one another. Like, they both love each other, but I think Karu's like, who is this person? Like, why do I feel drawn to him? Why do I feel at home? And I've just ended on a bit where Akiva's just realised who Karu really is, and now I'm like, who is she? Like, is she this person that was mentioned in the book that I had suspicions of? But if so, why are the angels wanting to kill her? Like his half brother and half sister. Like, there's so many questions in this book, and I'm like, is it gonna be a single answer? Because at the minute I am confused as fuck. But I'm really enjoying it. Like, I have this much there. Like, I have like a third left, but I'm confused. I hate it when this happens. Like, I'm one of those people, I need answers, and I'm hoping near the end of this book we get some answers, because honestly, if not, I'm going to have to pick up the rest of the books just to get said answers. But it's really good. I just, like, I'm confused. And I don't know where my head's at, and, like, rating-wise, like, I honestly don't know. Like, in this rate, I would have read this book in one sitting, which is a good thing. If I've read a book in one sitting, it means I really enjoyed it, and I am enjoying it. But I can't honestly tell you what's really going on, because I don't know. Anyway, let's continue on reading, and when I finish the book, which is when I next update you, hopefully I'll give you some actual, like, clear thoughts, because we ain't got none. Can we just appreciate right now that chapter 47 has Evanescence as the chapter title, and that is pretty much one of my favourite bands back in my emo days, and to be fair, I still love the band. Can we just appreciate that? And I'd just like to say that I was right. Karu is Madrigal. I don't exactly know who she is, but it sounds like she's actually like a Chimaru. I don't know how to bloody pronounce it. One of them. It's getting good. I finished it. I have lots of thoughts, but it's midnight, so I will tell you tomorrow. I am now going to pick up Big Panda and Tiny Dragon, read that, and then I'm going to start A Strange Hymn for a bit, and then I'll continue reading it tomorrow. But very good. Still don't think it's a 5-star, but I'm going to sleep on it and decide. But it made sense near the end, so I'm not so confused. But yeah, I'll talk to you all about it in the morning and just tell you everything. It's nearly the afternoon. I've literally woken up like 30 minutes ago. Yeah, I didn't go to sleep till about 3:15. It was around about that time. I didn't really look properly. I was going to stay up reading, but I was like, I'm in the mood to watch another episode of Love is Blind. So I watched an episode, then I watched another, and then I watched another, and pretty much binge watched all the episodes that was left. And now I'm obviously waiting for the new episodes to come on. I think it's the 16th next week sometime. I'm not 100% sure either. But season 2 of Love is Blind is honestly 10 times better than the first one. I don't know whether it's because I actually like some of the people who've been matched, whether it's because I like them or I don't know. Oh, my lips are so sore. Anyway, so I ended up watching that. However, I left you saying that I finished Daughter of Spoken Bone, which I did, and I will give you my thoughts in just a second. I did end up picking up Big Panda and Tiny Dragon by James Norbury, and this was just heartwarming and wholesome, just like The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse, obviously by different authors, but it's a similar sort of, like quotes and beautiful drawings and stuff. There's just so many quotes on here that's so relatable to me, and it's just lovely. This is like another book, again, like The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse, is going to be on my bedside table, so it's on reach for, when I'm having a bit of a down day, or I'm second guessing myself, or I'm just having a bad day. I can flip through these two books and just feel a bit more better in myself. So that, again, we know is going to be 5 stars. So I am going to pick up now A Strange Hymn by Laura Thalassa, which is the Bargain Series book 2. So I'm going to pick that up now and try and read. I think I will probably finish this book some point today. It might be but tonight, because when Alice comes back home, obviously I'll be with her, not reading. But I'm going to try and get a chunk done before she gets here, because I don't know whether she's coming home early or just normal time. I'm not sure. But we're going to do a chunk of reading, but I know I will finish it tonight. But I did finish Daughter Smoking by Melanie Taylor. I still don't know how I feel about it. The last half of the book, it picked up, but I did get extremely confused, because, I said that I had suspicions that Carew was... I don't know how to pronounce her name again. Hang on. Carew was... Madella. Madrigal. I had suspicion that she was, and it was. So basically, Madrigal is a very powerful Chimaera, but she saved Akiva's life, and they fell in love, and she was basically betrothed to this other thing, wolf-like beast, but she didn't want to be with him. She, wasn't in love with him, and they were having this big party thing. Basically, we had Akiva had no, that's wrong. Carew had this necklace, which was a wishbone, which is what Brimstone gave her, and basically this necklace obviously had memories, her past, an essence of her or something like that. And basically Akiva saw it and realised exactly who she was, blah blah blah. And obviously him and Carew have started to fall in love, and he was before we do anything, you need to know who you are. I need to tell you. You need to decide all by yourself. And so they end up finally breaking the wishbone, and then all of these memories come back. So basically Carew is Madrigal, and basically Madrigal was working for Brimstone purely because Brimstone is a resurrectionist, so he uses teeth and stuff like that, and he can actually make a spell where you can resurrect someone and put them in a different body. It's powerful magic, and he can do that. And basically Madrigal's sister Chiro, something happened to her and she died, and so she wanted to resurrect her sister, so she basically did that. But in doing so, to pay back Brimstone, she started working for him, so she started learning all about the teeth and doing errands and stuff like that. And obviously she fell in love with Akiva, and Akiva met her at her betrothal party sort of thing, and basically he did he did a, what did he say? I think he did something, so everyone had to sort that out. So they ran away, and she found a place for them to hide, and they had an obviously passionate night and all that, and blah blah blah. And then basically they kept meeting up behind things, but Chiro, her sister, must have realised what's going on, and basically told the wolf beast, who was supposedly meant to be Madrigal's betrothal, and basically her punishment, he was going to execute her in front of Akiva, which they did. But Madrigal knew this was going to happen when she obviously had a backup plan of if shit went to pot, basically. And so her and Brimstone sort of set up a thing. So basically, long story cut short, before she died, they did something. So when she dies, her essence wouldn't just go to the afterworld, wherever she decides to go. Instead, it was going to go it would be resurrected. And so she ends up taking over her sister's resurrected body, and so basically she kills her sister, and she then becomes this resurrected body, and blah blah blah, and no one knows who she is apart from Brimstone and all that. And she obviously thought Kiva would I think she assumed Kiva got killed and stuff like that, but then she found out he didn't. Basically, it was like, it's a forbidden love. But Madrigal, when she went into her body, Brimstone obviously made her forget her memories, which I think is why they never thing, and all of that. But because so with that, and so Madrigal becomes Carew, and so that Carew's obviously done her hair blue, done all of these things. She's got Hamas tattoos and other tattoos. So basically, she's Madrigal, but she had her memory suppressed, but the memories were in her wishbone, and the minute she breaks the wishbone, all of those memories will be back. She knows what happened, blah, blah, blah. And so that's what her and Akiva did, and she obviously finds out what's going on. But the problem with this all is Akiva didn't tell Carew that he had killed Brimstone and everyone in the portal, because he thought they were sworn enemies and all that, blah, blah, blah. But when they obviously broke the wishbone, he sort of heard memories of what went on. He didn't realise that actually Brimstone wasn't actually for war. He was trying to find a better way to bring peace to both the Chimaero and the Angels. And so now Carew is absolutely fuming with Akiva because he's my alarm's going off with my watch. She's fuming with him because basically he killed her family, really. So it ends on her going to the last portal that takes her to hang on. Yeah, so they're going to the last portal, and she's going with Razgut, which is a fallen angel, and she's she was going to go with Akiva, but obviously she now doesn't like Akiva, so they're going to her and Razgut are going to F of Eretz, which I'm not sure what that is. I think it's like her land, and it's ended like that. So obviously it's cliffhanger. Obviously we need to know what's going on in the next books. I've read the blurb for both books. So in the second book, basically Carew or Madrigal, whichever they keep with her name, I'm not sure, she declares a war on the Angels because she's fuming. So that's what happened in that book. And then the third book is her and Akiva sort of team up, not in a romantic relationship, but they team up to try and do something else. So I actually looked at reviews, and a lot of people weren't keen. A few people loved this book and gave 5 stars. A lot of people gave 3.5 stars. A lot of people, someone who I know who really loves her fantasy, actually DNF'd the second book, which I was quite shocked at. But I can't lie, I'm not sure how I feel. I read it I read it in one sitting, and for that means I did enjoy this book. But I don't know whether it was I enjoyed it because I wanted to know what happened. I think it was because I was so confused. I wanted to read more to try and get those answers, and I got some answers. I had a little inkling that Madrigal and Carew were interlinked, and I was right. So that answered my questions. There were other things that answered my questions, but there's other things that's now I don't really understand. So I think I'm going to give it 4 stars because I did enjoy it. It was fast paced. I liked the characters, and I'm very intrigued to see what happens in the next books. But it is a book that really confused me, and I'm still what did I actually read? It's very hard to explain to you guys what went on because I'm not 100% sure whether I am telling you it correctly. But never mind, we did it. So far I've read 4 books. I'm now going to start A Strange Hymn and see how much I can read before Alice comes, and we'll go from there. If I finish it before Alice comes, then I will pick up Girl Serpent Fawn. I'm not expecting to finish that book, but I will start it and then I can finish it tomorrow. But yeah, that's what we're going to go and read. So I will catch up with you all when I've read quite a bit and I can explain what's going on, but I sort of know what's going on anyway, so I might just later on, because I need to get some food in me, just explain what happened in the first book and where this is obviously the second book, so it might be more spoilery. Anyway, we're going to go do that. I'm going to grab some lunch and I'm going to start this. Officially the end of this weekend reading vlog, and I am happy to say that I have read 5 books. I don't know how that happened. I know like 3 of them were like, you know, quote books, a graphic novel, but I'm still going with it because I read 2 paperbacks on top of that, so I don't care. This is a win for me. So just to recap on the books, I will quickly go more into depth with A Strange Hymn because I haven't done much about this one. I won't go into too much detail because it is the second book in the Bargainer series, but basically in the first book we follow Callie and the Bargainer, who's known as Des, and basically she makes a bargain from the Bargainer in the beginning of the book, but they end up sort of kind of forming a friendship, and then it becomes a bit more, and then all of a sudden Des stops seeing her, and then she spends like most of her young adult life pretty much mourning him because, like, you know, her heart's broken, she misses the friendship and all of that. And then in the first book he then obviously reappears and says that he's taking one of his bargains from her because she has this massive wish full of beads of a bargain she's done with him, and basically it's because she's like a supernatural PI and he needs her detective skills to sort of find out what's going on with his, with like one of the Fae Court, especially his, because he's just finding women fast asleep, had babies, but they're not waking up, but they're not dead. It's sort of like Sleeping Beauty sort of thing. And so she basically helps them. They find out what's going on. They end up, you know, there's obviously romance going on, and they end up finally admitting their feelings and all that, and he basically tells her that she's actually his mate, and that's the reason why they couldn't be together when she wanted to, was because she made this wish and it stopped, and it there was some law with him that he couldn't do it. I can't remember. But just as they obviously, like you thought, finally, she then gets captured by the king of the Fawn Court, and basically he sort of tortures her, but at the same time he brings out her like magic in her because she's a siren. But I think some of her powers was a bit dormant, and so he's brought it all out. So she's got like scales now, she's got claws, she's got wings, and that's like sort of, and Des kills the King of Fawn. So that's what happens, and then this kind of carries on, and basically Callie's trying to get used to her new body. Like, she's got wings, she's got scales, she's got claws, and she absolutely hates it. She's also getting used to being a mate, a soulmate, and gone from like hating Des to being in a relationship with Des to obviously now pretty much in hindsight they're like betrothed and kind of sort of thing. She's also realizing that she can't go back home because the way she looks, you know, she could get away with her supernatural powers, like because like she can get people to do her bidding because like her sirens sort of like to do with sex and all of that kind of stuff, but obviously the way she looks now, there's no way she can pass. So she's a bit homesick as well, like she's missing her home, she's missing her best friend Temperance, who is a sorceress. But alongside that, she's obviously quite damaged. She's still, you know, she's gone from having a full suit of armour from what happened to her as a kid. She was abused by her stepfather, which led to why she needed the Bargain's help in the first book. And she's gone back to, you know, that, you know, playing the victim, feeling sorry for herself. She's obviously getting used to who Des really is and finding out like a bit more about him, but he's still like hiding stuff and still keeping secrets. But also with that, they're also realizing that, you know, even though the king of the Fawn Court is dead, you know, the magic should have broken on the women that are asleep and all that, and they haven't. None of the women are now, there's no more women going missing and being found sleeping, but now men are missing, and it's sort of like, what's going on? So they believe either the king of the Fawn Court is not dead, that's why the magic hasn't broken, or he never did that, and there's someone else who was actually doing all the dirty work, and the king of Fawn was just like the puppet sort of thing. That's sort of what's going on. Now, I don't know how I feel about this book. I loved the first book. I breezed through it so quickly. I absolutely devoured it. I loved it. And I'm not saying that I didn't love this book because I read it in one sitting. I think for me, I just felt Callie was extremely moaning, feeling really sorry for herself. She wasn't quite the badass that we see her in the first book. She's also, I don't know, I wasn't so keen on her in this book. And I don't know whether it's like, I understand why, she's struggling with herself and all that. And like, about halfway through, she started to accept herself and all that. She felt powerful and everything. And I can understand why she didn't at the start, like, because a big change and everything. Something really nasty happened to her. But it was just sort of the way she was with Des as well. And again, with Des, I really liked him in the first book. I liked their banter, and I liked how he was with her, and obviously when it got to them finally saying how they felt and everything. What I didn't particularly like was, I felt in this, because like she's now his mate, it's like he can control her, and like if he wants her to do something that she's sort of putting up a fuss saying, oh no, don't want to do that, he will then use one of his bargains from her bracelet for her to do it. And to me, that just felt quite controlling, quite possessive. And it was also like he really wanted her to tell him all of her secrets and how she's feeling, but when it came to him, he didn't, or he would pretty throw her into like something without any explanation. I wasn't fond, and I've noticed that with some books, when you have books where you're a mate, whether it's like wolf or fae or any supernatural element like that, where you're a mate, I do find there are some books where they make it so it's acceptable to have that control, to have that possessiveness, because they're a mate, they're soulmate, they're like, no one else can have them. And at times it doesn't bother me, it flies through my head depending on how the book is. But there are other times where I notice it and I'm like, hold on, like, beforehand you weren't like that, but now like they've accepted your mate and stuff like that, you're now becoming completely alpha hole, Mr. I'm, she's mine, all of that. And I'm struggling with that in this book. That's how I kind of feel. And I kind of feel like the only two books series that I have read that I think mate Fae-wise has done really well is Akatar and Throne of Glass. Like, I feel like Sarah J Maas, even though they were mates and, they had that, your mind sort of thing, they were still their own person. They were allowed to do things. That wasn't possessiveness. And that's, I think, what I really like with Sarah J Maas's work, is she makes the female characters, they are powerful, they're independent, they don't need a man, like, and they're also a partner, not that's so and so's mate, all of that. And I'm starting to feel with this, it's getting controlling, it's getting possessive, and I'm just like, I'm not liking how this is going. And I also felt like a lot of this book, it was just sort of about the solstice. It was, a few bits trying to get Callie back to who she is, like liking who she is. Obviously we have got some romance in here, which when the romance part comes, it's very steamy. I think what brought the book up for me a little bit more than it was originally was temperance was involved. Like in the first book we did get temper quite a lot, and then in this I was like, oh my god, is she completely been wiped out of this book? But no, she's actually at Desmond's court, and so it's quite nice to have her there, and the banter that's between her and Callie and temper with the rest of the Fae court, that's quite funny, and I enjoy that. But I did feel like for a while the mystery of like finding out what's going on with these women and all that, I just felt that took a back burner, and it was only till like a third of the ending of the book that things kicked up and things went into place, and it went fast paced because there was a lot going on, and obviously there's a cliffhanger and a half in this. But I'm not sure how I feel. Like, I can't at the moment give you a rating. Editing me will give you a rating because hopefully by then I would have thought one. I kind of feel like it's either going to be a low 4-star or a 3.5-star, but obviously round up to 4-star just because I can't do that on Goodreads. I didn't love it, and it's a shame because I really thought this was going to be fantastic. Like, don't get me wrong, I still want to read the last book, and I'm hoping the last book, you know, things will get really intense and good and it will go out with a bang. But I am a little bit worried because the first book was like so on like high for me. This is at the minute flopped. But and I also read Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I enjoyed this. Like, I read it in one go. I couldn't put it down. It was fast paced, and I really like the fact that we've got like sort of, I suppose it's like demons and angels sort of like thing, and it's like a forbidden romance. There's a massive cliffhanger. I think for me, the reason why this hasn't got a 5-star, it's going to be a 4-star. I think it's because I got really confused, and there was one bit where it just literally jumped to someone completely different, and it was a good job I was concentrating. Otherwise, I'd be like, "What the hell?" But I did find it quite confusing. I think as you go into the series itself, it might start making more sense to me, and like I did get the gist of things. I just felt there wasn't quite a lot of world building in here, which is surprising. And I have looked on reviews, and a lot of people said Lee's books weren't a big hit, but Strange Dreamer duology was absolutely like sensational. So this is 4 stars. I read Big Panda and Tiny Dragon by James Norbury, which is just like a little quote book with like lots of cute little quotes. You know, for example, the map doesn't show where I'm supposed to go, said Tiny Dragon. Your journey isn't shown on any map, said Big Panda. You must discover your own path. So it's all like sort of quotes like that, and I loved it. It's one of those books where when you feel low or you just need to pick me up, they're just going to be perfect just to pick up and just read and just, you know, bring that bit of that. They're good self-help books in my opinion. So this is a 5-star. I also read The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. Again, very similar to this. I love the drawings on here, and just it really was. It's certainly just a really good like quotes, inspirations, and it's just these 2 books are just perfect to have on your bedside table. And when you need to pick me up, just feeling you're having a bit of a low day, or something's annoyed you, or you'll feel like you're stuck in a rut, these I just think are brilliant just to dip in and out and just bring, you know, give you reminders of why you're here and why you're doing what you're doing. And then lastly, I also read Lore Olympus Volume 1, which is a graphic novel. It's the retelling of Persephone and Hades. We know I love Persephone and Hades retelling. They're my favourite god and goddesses, so any kind of book that associates them I'm pretty much here for. This was a 5-star. I just loved it. It was a fun ride. The illustrations are brilliant. I definitely can see the hype, and I can't wait to get volume 2. And I did read also, and I have to give it a mention, I did obviously start reading Illuminae, and like I said before, I'm on page 89, it's not on chapters. The reason why I didn't continue reading this in this vlog is purely because it would take me a lot longer to read this, and it was one of those books where I need to sit and properly concentrate, not like try and binge read it for the sake of the vlog. So I'm definitely going to pick this back up this week sometime, just because I do want to finish it, because what I read I really enjoyed, and it was a very easy read, and considering it's a sci-fi, I think this is probably one of the first sci-fis I actually understand and enjoy. So we also started a bit of that. So we did manage to read, let me get them all together, 5 books. So the only book that I actually didn't read is Girl, Serpent, Fawn, which is fine, but actually the rest of the books that I said I was going to read, I did. So we're really happy, and yeah, it was a good reading weekend. I'm still in a really good reading mood, so we're going to continue on reading. I was going to do a obviously Crescent City 2 comes out tomorrow on the 15th. It's Valentine's Day today. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. But I was going to read it that week, but then I thought actually no, because I want to vlog my experience with it, because I never did a vlog on Crescent City 1. And I thought nope, I want to do like an experience with it. But I want to do it when my daughter's not here, so she's not here for half term. She's going to be at dad's for a week. So I'm going to be a really good girl. As much as it's hard, I'm going to hold on to it and pick it up the last week of February, because then I can fully vlog my experience and enjoy it. So this week I'm going to just finish reading the remaining books that I need to read, and then next week I can just concentrate on that. But yeah, thank you for watching this vlog. I'm very happy with how many books I read, and yeah, I shall see you again soon.